Come to your house.
Oh my
Jeez, oh,
goodness.
peace.
You know you've been there. I treated you well.
Excuse me, here's a positive note.
Yes.
NBA playoffs. Let's make people money.
Yeah.
Time
Triple
for the
threat.
first take
That's
triple
right.
threat parlay. Time to get to our prop bets. They're locked in for today's playoff games on ESPN. Stephen A. Pacers-Bucks Game 3. What bet do you like the best in this one?
Pacers Bucks Game 3. I like Damian Lillard scoring 25 plus. That's what I like for the play. He came back. All right. Game 2 wasn't himself, of course, because he had been gone for a while, but he's back now. Dame time will show up tonight. They can't go on a break of elimination, go down 0-3 to
Fair
Indiana.
enough.
Dame will show up.
Don't let Mad Dog hear you
25 plus.
about Dame time. Moving on to Orlando, where the Celtics will face off against the Magic up 2-0. SA, what's the move here? Jason Tatum banged up.
Easy one. Jaylen Brown, 20 plus points. Absolutely. He's Jaylen Brown. Okay?
That's easy money.
He's the $300 million man. The other $300 million man on the Boston Celtics. He's going to show up tonight on the road, and he's going to score more than 20.
All right, finally for our nightcap, Lakers at Wolves. What are you doing here? What do you like most?
Ant-Man in the Twin City, Minneapolis. This brother will drop 30 plus tonight against LeBron and Doncic. That's what he's going to do. I ain't telling you,
You think they're winning the game?
Well, they might win the game, but he's going to put on the show. He's going to put on the show. I was thinking about going to that game tonight, but I couldn't make it.
Okay, busy schedule, I get it. So to recap, we're going with Lillard to score 25 plus, a little Dame time action, Jaylen Brown to put up 20 plus, and Ant Edwards to go off scoring 30 plus at home. Stephen A., this is pretty similar to your ladder parlay from Wednesday, which was a winner, by the way. So I just want to give you props on that. If you like these picks, we put them into a parlay for you
make some money
on ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Just open the app and look for the first take triple threat parlay on the homepage.
If you had done it, you said if you want to make some money, listen to me. But I win people some money, and you never mentioned the word money.
I just said you just won the money. It hit.
You just won the money, but you didn't say it with the level of enthusiasm that I like.
Oh my gosh!
That's what I
America.
That's what I need.
I can't win.
You understand?
I can't win.
After my and don't get me started with this shooting 5 of 25 from 3-point range after the way they shot lights out in game 1. This is the reason why people felt this was a matchup made for the Los Angeles Lakers coming into this series. Because with Minnesota, you never know what you're going to get. They were trapping Anthony Edwards. They were getting the ball out of his hands. I understand it. But you're looking at Naz Reid. You don't need to be handling the ball too much. McDaniels, you don't need to be handling the ball too much. Julius Randle, listen, Mr. Lefty, he ain't ambidextrous, okay? We know this, all right? Even though he put up some decent numbers last day, had 27 points. I just found myself incredibly frustrated with Minnesota. The Lakers scored 60 points over the last 3 quarters. 60 points over the last 3 quarters of the game. And still, Minnesota never pulled closer than within 9 because you're all over the place offensively. You can't win this series like that. You don't have a chance to win this series like that. You're looking at them and you're just saying to yourself, Mike Conley Jr., you've been a veteran point guard in the league for years. Control them. Control the pace. You know what? You got a ball. Don't be driving and I saw McDaniels literally run over Austin Reeves. And then looked at the ref like, what? What did I do? What do you mean what you did? It's not football. You're not trying to run, not trying to break tackles. You're trying to get to the basket. You're just looking at them right now. And I was just turned off, Wendy and Doggy, about how chaotic they look. That is not a team that would beat the Lakers in this series.
100%. They were self-satisfied that they got the split with the first game on Saturday night where they made 1,000,000 threes. Good job by JJ. I guess they had a hard practice the day before. They went through film on Easter Sunday. He did have him ready to play. He's done a good job, so give him credit for there. But I definitely agree with you 100% about Minnesota. I think Steve's. I look at more from a Minnesota standpoint than a Lakers standpoint, too. You figured the Lakers were going to win the game. They were favored. Even in Vegas, down by a game, they were still pretty much a pick 'em in the series, which was odd. And Minnesota does not have a great home court. I'll give you 1,000,000 examples of teams in the last, whatever it might be, going into the Target Center winning games. Dallas did last year. Obviously, Denver did when they were down 2-0. They got back to 2-2. So from that perspective, I'm a little worried that Minnesota appeared to be, hey, you know what? We got a split. We won the first game. We'll go out there and play, and we'll see. Maybe we'll have a chance in the fourth quarter. And I think they didn't come with that urgency that you'd like to have. They were out of the game right away. The game was not competitive after the first quarter. That's one of those playoff games. You watch the first quarter, you've seen it all. But I'm with Steve 1,000%. Me, it's more about the T-Wolves than about the Lakers. It really is.
Brian?
I hated watching this game. It was
12:30 in the morning, and it was close enough that I had to keep watching it, but neither team was impressive down the stretch. I will give the Lakers credit. This was a must-win game for them. Luka came out and was awesome in the first quarter. As I'm watching the end of this game, where they're both bumbling and stumbling and running over each other and all that stuff, I'm thinking of what the Denver Nuggets LA Clippers series looks like. Those two heavyweights who look like they both could win the West under the right circumstances. I'm thinking about Oklahoma City, who has dismantled the Grizzlies so far, totally looking like the 68-win team that they were during the regular season. And I'm thinking, one of these two teams thinks that they can run through the West playing this way? No way. So I'll give them a pass that it was the first two games of the series and it's going to be a long series. I just wasn't impressed either way. Luka has given Minnesota all kinds of problems over the last 2 years. If I was going to look into the future and say how this series is going to go, I don't see how Minnesota stops him. So I'd lean towards the Lakers. I think he probably carries them. But Ant Edwards hasn't been great these first two games. And what was alarming about last night's game is that he said he was confused by the defense the Lakers played on him. He said it was sort of a zone. I'm not an X's and O's expert. I think the way the Lakers were playing against him is similar to the way they play against great scorers, where they just try to crowd the paint and dare the guy to kick and shoot threes. Maybe there was a new wrinkle that J.J. Redick came up with that I didn't see, and I'll grant for that. I don't think Ant Edwards showed the aggression he needed to show considering the stakes. And the big thing was he had no assists in this game. He hasn't had a no-assist game in 3 years. He had 9 assists in game one. So this is really about Ant Edwards answering back with a great game or two when this series goes to Minneapolis.
Well, first of all, collectively speaking, as an offense, they were absolutely awful. Let's get that out the way. Okay, you got a situation where you're looking at Naz Reid and Jayden McDaniels. They combined for 48 points on 19 for 25 shooting in game one. That's 76%. Last night, they combined for 17 points. Think about that. That's a 31-point drop-off on 6 of 19 shooting, which was 31%. Okay, so you got that going on. Rudy Gobert, 29 minutes, just 6 points. What are you doing? Mike Conley, you're the point guard. Yeah. You're the point guard. Scoreless in 21 minutes, 0 for 5 from the field, and 1 assist. Really? That's what we're doing? Mike Conley's better than that. I don't give a damn how old he is. He's a veteran. He's better than that. 1 assist, 0 points in a playoff game. Come on, Mike Conley Jr., you can do better than that, okay? And Ant-Man, what have I said? This brother can be Jordan-esque. He's got that kind of capability, that kind of talent. This brother's special. Yo, Ant-Man, you're not answering the call. You're not answering the call. I don't give a damn what the Lakers thought you. 23.5 points, 41% shooting, 35% from three-point range. We expect better. When you're going up against Luka Doncic and LeBron James, and you are the star of the other team, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. So, again, we understand it. I think for me personally, it's always been tricky because I have so much respect for the coach, Finch. I know he's a good coach. Please don't get me wrong, Wendy. I really